you can't do pen test to an airplane. Like you don't want to fly an airplane that the day before some hacker try to see what he can do.
Built this week, breaking it down. Built this week, we show you how. A fresh idea, a clever tweak. You locked in, you built this week.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Built This Week, the podcast where we share what we're building, how we're building it, and what it means for the world of AI and startups. I'm Sam Nadler, co-founder here at Rise Labs, and each and every week I'm joined by my friend, my business partner, my co-host, Jordan Metzner. Hey, Jordan, how you doing?
Hey, Sam. Happy to be back.
Happy to have you. And this week we have a very special guest, the CTO of Cyviation, Eero Salih. Welcome to the show.
Hello, hi, thank you for inviting me.
Great to have you. So just to give you a high level agenda, we're going to jump into a quick demo we made with Cyviation in mind. We're also going to dive into the product of Cyviation. It's a space that personally I'm not too familiar with, but is incredibly interesting. And then we're going to cover the latest and greatest AI news. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to Built This Week. This is our 28th episode, I believe. We have new episodes out every week talking with great CEOs and founders all about AI and technology. So with that in mind, let's jump right in to what I built, Sagi. And again, am not too familiar with the product, but this is our flight ops cyber radar. So it's pulling in a bunch of data and helping us understand if there's any risks. Let's actually, scroll to the bottom where everything is a low risk. We have ground VHF interference. The signal spectrum integrity is confirmed. The fuel logistics portal looks okay. Upstream vendor reported credential leak. Maybe that's something we need to check into. Maybe doesn't seem super high risk. Airport and infrastructure, we had latency spikes in RFID relay network. Okay, we may need to look into that, but core airline operations, we have a critical action here. Unexpected API activity from third-party vendor. Let's jump into that. And as we do, it appears to be with crew scheduling, unexpected API activity, detected atypical geography. So this is the tactical directive. Isolate the target vendor subnet immediately, force credential rotation across all core service accounts, and trigger recursive audit of shared authentication dependencies. That's a mouthful. So we better look into that. That's our primary alert. Beep, 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 beep. And then we have this captain briefing, which we'll synthesizing right now, which will pretty much tell us, I think, something similar. Command briefing here, operational readiness degraded, flight safety status none. The crew scheduling environment is logically and physically partitioned from flight critical avionics and real-time navigation systems. However, there's a vulnerability identified with crew scheduling sys, threatening the integrity of personnel, logistics, and roster management. So again, I built this with, assuming a little bit of how your company works. This may be totally off base. I thought the intent is just a little dashboard to analyze potential security threats. But with that in mind, would love to hear how off base I am. And then let's dive into what Cyviation actually does.
So first of all, I like the intent. I must say I like the red alert. It feels like something came from startup, the captain briefing and everything. So because I like static, so it's feel like came out from the TV series. Actually, I think what you've done.
I needed some audio coming from the ceiling about what was wrong. Exactly.
So yeah, I like the UI.
And that's pretty much it.
Sagi, yeah. So Sagi, tell us a little bit about the company and what you guys do.
So actually, what you've done, I think, is what most people think about is cybersecurity for the airlines because they check what is on the ground, and that's exactly what you showed. What we do is we check the airplane itself. Today, the airplane has so many computers. He's got his own server room inside the airplane. and Sabed need to make risk assessment for it, and this is what we do. We have our technology. We know how to map all the different elements, you can say it, okay, in the airplane, or different computer systems, and then our logic. We analyze them. We check the version. We check the connection. We check everything we can get from the documents and all the information we collect from the MRO, from all other inputs we can get, and then we say what is the risk. If there is a risk, what is the risk? What is the effect? Because there can be a chain of effect. Somebody can enter from X and get to Y. Okay, something that other company can do it today. I think the most important thing that people need to understand, that you can't do pen test to an airplane. Like, you don't want to fly an airplane that the day before some hacker try to see what he can do. Like, so testing physically an airplane means that you will be on the ground for about a year until it can be certified again. So this is what we do with our technology. We can have a risk assessment. We have a straight process how to do a risk assessment, and then the airlines can be compliant to a new regulation that are coming this year. So this is actually the gap we want to fill, to help the airlines to be comply in the new regulation.
Okay, got it. And obviously, this is an incredibly fast-moving space with, historically a lot of bureaucracy, and now in the new world, obviously AI and all this new type of technology. So maybe you can just talk a little bit about how AI has like maybe allowed you guys to implement some of your technology that maybe wasn't available before AI existed.
Yeah. So first of all, we AI first company, I think, from the development point of view. Like, we don't believe you need to be big to be successful. You can see it in all the startups today. I think a lot of people want more people because of ego, and they think that if you have more people, it means you will more succeed. Um, so what we are doing today, like when we collect all the information, we enter it into an AI, okay, to make a what we call it the digital twin of the plane. And before the AI, it was done manually. Like, go on more than 100 documents manually, and then draw the digital twin. And now using AI, we can get more documents. We can get more version, more accurate, and we can do the cross with other system faster. This is just the getting the data. Besides of it, of course, all the development is first we're using AI tools. Every person we add to the company with the interview is not how he's program, how he's talking to the AI and convince him to program. Like, in our point of view, we don't hire developers, we hire only managers. Okay, and every manager has its own AI agent that you need to make sure that he's doing the best job he can do.
That's incredible. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to one of my development teams this morning just about, how nobody's writing code anymore and just the management of your agents. But yeah, I'm sure you guys are using Claude Code and Cursor and some of the other tools. But how has it changed the developer's job, like leveraging AI? They're all running multiple agents. Is everybody? I mean, is the marketing team leveraging agents? Are you using Claude Cowork? Can you talk about like some of the features and tools you guys are using lately?
So it depends on the job, okay? Because I think every agent has its own. Like, personally, we use anti-gravity. We use windsurf for the development. For if you need specific fixes, like windsurf is like cursor. If we want specific fixes, we're doing this. We use anti-gravity and cloud code for feature from zero, okay, because we understand this what they do the best. But if you want to fix something, it's harder to do it with this. We use Claude for our research team, Cloud Code for research team. It's the best one that we found. Of course, the marketing, the I think like everybody else, like, since AI, everybody writing LinkedIn posts. So we use Gemini. I think for this is the best. I think it's the advantage is also because we use Google Workspace, so it's come with the package. And personally, I like it for the images and the text. I like it.
Sorry, you mentioned new regulations that are on the horizon. I think you mentioned in 2026. What's changing that is a important for airlines to adopt, and is critical for you to help them adopt it.
I think that what changes it's that people now understand that cyber can affect the safety of the plane. Okay. At the end, when something is talking about safety, until now they thought that the plane, if you have a malfunction, you have fire, something on the plane, some screw loose, I don't know. This is safety. And if the computer breaks, then everything is okay. But now they said that cyber attack, it's something that it's safety for the plane. And besides safety, it's I think that I don't know if cyber will get a plane down from the air, okay? But think about the effect from the media if some airplane won't fly because there was some movie of explosion in the entertainment system. Like there are so many things that can affect how the people see the company, the airline, and can affect the money of the airplane of the so the money of the airline. And if you think about it, even if somebody, the pilots have a tablet that in the tablet got all the pilot have all the route of the plane. So if somebody just change by 1 degree, okay, the route. Think about it when you fly between a continent. What is 1 degree? So it can even mean that the plane won't have enough fuel to land when it's where it needs to land. It can cost a lot of money to the airline. And once I enter personally to the aviation industry, I understand that everything is about money. The weight of the airplane, like a thing that people don't understand, even if the weight that the system have inside, let's say the baggage, you remember you put all your baggage and then they take it to the plane, and the pilot have all the weight of the baggage and where it's located on the plane. This affect the long how long the runway is need to be to take off, what is the speed. Think about it that the weight isn't calculated right. It can affect the way the plane will take off. It will affect the fuel that it needs to have. It affects so many things that people just don't understand. It can be safety. It costs money. It costs time. I mean the plane might not get to its destination. So I think now the industry understand that cyber can affect all of this information that is collected from many systems, and not only the IT that is on the ground, like the ticketing system and stuff like this.
That's incredible. Yeah, I think, and I mean, obviously, as these systems get better and better, then it presumes that there's optimizations that can be had in all of these places, to your point. Incredible product. And can you just give us a little more information, like just tell how people can find out about the company before we move on? Just like tell us about the website and how people can find out more. And then I guess also one question before I finish there was, are your customers airlines? Are your customers the airplane manufacturers? Are they both? Are they
Yeah.
airports?
So our customer are many airlines, but the big one. But there are so many airlines, of private jet, like I don't know if you call it an airline, but there are companies that manage private jets. Also, our customers, everybody that manage airplanes, because the regulator said that the one that responsible is the one that managed the airplane, because it went out from the airplane manufacturer, then the airline or the owner of the plane is the one that responsible for the day-to-day maintenance. So this is our customer. You said how they can see us. So we have our site, like you see it in the screen, Cyviation.ero, and they can look at us. We're trying to be in as much convention as we can. Really just look at us in the site, in LinkedIn, and we'll be happy to talk.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's jump into the news, Sam.
Yeah, let's kick it off. So, I think this popped up in conversations over the past 24 hours, but Google and Anthropic reject ads in their AI chatbot platforms, unlike what OpenAI seems to be doing. At a high level, Google has tons of cash. Anthropic, from a maybe company stage perspective, is probably more similar to OpenAI than it is Google, yet it's also rejecting the concept of ads. What do you think about the use of ads in our day-to-day drivers of these chatbot platforms?
Yeah, I mean, ads has been a popular way for the internet to grow, and that's what Google's done and Facebook's done. OpenAI is exploring it. I mean, Amazon also has a giant ads business. I also think that it just kind of puts more focus on Anthropic on just providing high quality enterprise solutions and not being distracted by advertising. So honestly, the thing for me that it did is solidify that, if I'm going to invest my company's time on a platform, I want to spend more time with Anthropic since they feel like, looks like the company has more allegiance to enterprise customers paying for their services rather than OpenAI, which could be, basically being like a large open marketplace. I don't know. What about you, Sagi? What do you think?
So I think all the companies already sell our data, but like doing it openly with ads, like it's making me run away from them because we're already afraid from all the data, our data that's out there. Like, come on, Google sell our data, maybe not in the chat, but in other systems. But putting it in the chat when you want relevant information, so it's like it's turned me off from OpenAI, and they're good replacement.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a way just to. It's not a good way where they're going now.
I think it signals maybe the different fight P&L realities of each country, of each company. Sorry. OpenAI obviously, has raised a ton of cash, but they're also burning a ton of cash. Anthropic has raised a considerable amount of money, but I think they're burned significantly less. And Google's just sitting on a ton of cash. So I think their OpenAI's need to reduce burn and generate other streams of revenue is just in a different position today than both Anthropic and Google.
All right, let's move on. I think we got one more story to wrap up this episode. Ex-Amazon executive basically kind of replaced their company. He left Amazon and he replaced the company's CRM in a weekend by vibe coding it. And I think the whole story is just about the fact that like his current CRM was hard to edit and hard to make changes to, and so he just built a new one from scratch. He said like in 72 hours. So yeah, like I think Sam said, it resonates with us since we do this all the time with a bunch of internal tools. But are you guys building internal tools? Are you replacing kind of third-party software tools and CRM tools with your own in-house tools? And are you kind of feel the same way as him?
So I feel the same way as him, like building internal tools, but only internal, because at the end, vibe coding is not yet production. Like you need to know how to build production product, but for internal tools, we surely use. I think it can save a lot of money. It's nice to have, and I agree with what he wrote in the last paragraph. I think in this article that it's still the entry barrier for developer is a long time ago. It's not the development language because it's easy to develop. The barrier is good ideas, the good ideas and the execution of the good idea. So you don't see now thousands of startups out there. So still, it's nice to have, but it's not replacement for a good idea and good execution.
Yeah, totally true. Um, and I think, I mean, it'll just have as you said, these LLMs are not good enough for high quality production code yet, but over the next months, weeks, years, I mean, it's just going to get better and better. And to your point, kind of everyone becomes a manager and orchestrator, right? Sagi, I wanted to say thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks for talking about your company. It was really interesting to learn how kind of AI and cyber has a huge impact on our day-to-day lives and just flying on an airplane and whatnot. I think we got a good call out. It was awesome to see your tool, Sam, and your red alerts. And yeah, interesting to talk about OpenAI and Anthropic and just kind of vibe coding in general across like all executives. So thanks again, Sagi, for this awesome time. And thanks, Sam. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Sagi. Don't
Bye,
forget to like
guys.
and
Thanks,
subscribe. It was a
everyone.
pleasure to meet you. Bye, everyone.
Build